Okay, so one of the most common questions that I get in the office is, do I have erectile dysfunction? It seems like a very strange question to me because of the definition of erectile dysfunction. I like to use the word impotence, actually, but it's really a dirty word today. To me, impotence means I have problems with my erections and I'm not happy with them. And basically, I can't keep it until I can orgasm and be happy about that. To me, that's what impotence is. Erectile dysfunction gets very wishy-washy, and it was a term created by Pfizer when Viagra came out, really because they wanted to expand their market. They wanted everyone that had any problem with their erections whatsoever, not just I can't keep it until I'm finished. They wanted anyone that just was worried that they wouldn't succeed, or psychological issues, or all kinds of things thrown in there. That's why erectile dysfunction is a much broader term than impotence, although I prefer impotence. So when I see somebody first for this problem, obviously it's a big deal. It's a huge deal when it first happens. Number one, because most people don't know how common it is. It's unbelievably common. And as you get older, it's almost a guarantee that you're going to have problems with your erections to some degree. And the number one first thing that patients focus on, they focus less on a solution and more on, why do I have a problem? Why am I starting to notice this? They can't talk to anybody about it. They certainly don't have an easy time talking to their sexual partner about it because the sexual partner worries that it's them. Maybe it is them. Maybe your wife's getting older. Maybe you're bored. It's not something you can usually have an easy conversation about. But the main reasons why someone would have problems with their erections are, and I've touched on the first one, aging. I always say to patients, I'll have a patient who's 80 years old and they just don't understand what's going on. Why don't I have erections? And I'll explain to them that 90% of men that are 80 don't have erections. And if you move backwards all the way to 50, you'd be shocked at how many men have trouble even at the age of 50. So aging is just a simple thing that happens that causes you to lose your erections. It has everything to do with blood flow. We don't see 80-year-old men or even 50-year-old men winning the Olympic marathon because they don't have the same body they had when they were 20. They don't have the same blood flow, and that's why the penis doesn't have the same blood flow when you're older. So aging is the number one reason. Simple aging, the inevitability of erectile dysfunction or impotence as you age, that's the main reason. And that's a hard message for some men to hear or to take. It might be the first big reminder that they're getting older. Now, the second very common thing, if I see a young person, is primarily if someone says, I'm having a problem with my erections, the first thing you ask is that only when you're trying to use them with someone else, or is that when you're using them on your own? And normally it's just with someone else. That's the easiest diagnosis to make. That's performance anxiety. So most commonly in a younger person, the problem is, and it's a heavily charged topic, that maybe they failed one time. Maybe they had too much to drink. They got wasted one night and they failed and they're embarrassed. And it's a shameful thing. They're worried that people are on social media talking about them. The minute it gets in your head, that's worse than aging. So the effect of performance anxiety or being worried about your erection is maybe worse than physical problems. So that's another huge reason. Almost anyone under 40, that's a major part of it. Men going through a divorce will very commonly go through this phase. That's also an important thing to point out. And then what everyone wants to hear today is they want to hear, and this is why drug companies sold so much of it, they want to hear that the problem is a physical problem, meaning there's a quick fix. And for most men, they want that fix to be testosterone. They want the answer to be another made-up term from the drug industry called low T. It's a rabbit hole to go down that because they get the normal values for testosterone on the lab sheet from young 20-year-old men. So that's not really indicative. Everyone's testosterone goes down as they get older. And the more bummed out you are, the more depressed you are. And believe me, people that are struggling with their erections are very stressed and bummed out and depressed. That causes your testosterone to go down. So when they get it checked, it's always low normal or just below the the normal line for an 18-year-old and they say, Eureka, that must be my problem. That's hardly ever the real problem with erections. It's chicken and the egg. Do you have low testosterone because you're bummed out because you actually don't get good erections? Or is it that you don't get good erections because you have low testosterone? It usually is the erections is the chicken and the testosterone part is the egg. So I try to ignore the testosterone part and focus on solutions that will get you erections.